Today's video, guys, we're going to be going over the top 5 most critical beginner mistakes people make when ordering their Kiesel guitars. So without further ado, let's get into it. Quick disclaimer, guys, this video is solely for general information purposes. I am not in any way affiliated with Kiesel guitars, just a longtime enthusiast. I've had quite a few over the years, so I want to take the time to share some feedback, provide you guys some direction that might find useful for your future guitar builds. All right, so starting off with number 1, biggest mistake, guys, choosing extremely heavy wood combinations. This is going to be critical, especially if you do a lot of standing while playing. You want to take that pressure off that shoulder. The last thing you want is going to be a really, really heavy guitar. It's going to be uncomfortable. 2 notable woods I would be cautious about when building your guitar. Number 1, it's going to be black limba. You guys might have seen I had posted a recent unboxing of an Osiris. Despite being a headless chambered bolt-on model, the black limba body definitely did have a little bit of heft to it compared to some other woods such as alder or something like a swamp ash. Very nice looking wood, lots of attractive figuring, but again, something to bear in mind when looking at the weight. Same thing with walnut. Again, this is definitely going to be one of the heavier woods out there, so I probably wouldn't recommend that if you're looking to trim the weight down on your build. If you're trying to go as light as possible, I would definitely consider something lighter like an alder or swamp ash body. Put a top wood on there, chamber it out if you want to trim down as much weight as possible. Next on the list, guys, choosing roughly textured coarse neck woods. This is going to be critical, guys. In my personal opinion, the feeling of the neck is the most important aspect of any custom guitar. You want to make sure that you've got a comfortable playing profile. You want to make sure it's not too thick, not too thin, but most importantly, just that tactile feel of the actual neck wood surface itself. You want to make sure that you have something that is going to be comfortable, fast, and smooth. Now, a lot of times this is going to come down to personal preference. Some people actually do prefer a little bit more of a coarse, rough texture. So bear that in mind when making these decisions on your build. Based on my personal experience, guys, having bought and sold probably well over 40 to 50 guitars in my life, I've always been more partial to a neck that has a very smooth, glassy feel without any excessive coarse grain texture. So these are going to be woods like your black limbas, right? These are going to be your wenges, although Kiesel doesn't offer wenge for this reason. But within the Kiesel roster of available neck woods, really the main one that's going to have the most coarse texture is going to be black limba. So again, it's going to be a little bit heavier. It's going to have a beautiful figuring. It's going to look really nice, but again, it does have more of that open grain. It's going to be a little bit more rough. It's not going to feel smooth and glassy like what you're going to get from, say, a walnut or a maple neck. But again, bear in mind, this is all going to come down to personal preference. I would say the vast majority of people are probably going to favor that smooth, glassy feel over the rough texture, but to each their own. If you're tired of boring one-piece maple necks, you're going to custom build, you want something that's visually a little bit more interesting, I would highly, highly recommend checking out a walnut neck. If you talk to the people of the Kiesel community, you're going to find tons and tons of people just raving about how awesome walnut is. I can assure you, you will not be disappointed with the walnut neck. Next on the list, guys, satin finishes on highly figured painted tops. So we're talking your quilted maple, your flamed maple. You're gonna go with a really nice, like a translucent finish. So maybe your aqua burst, all of these beautiful colored finishes. If you're looking to really enhance the chatoyance of such a highly figured top, you really aren't going to see the full effect with a satin finish. A lot of times satin is going to look a lot flatter. It can look very dull. So if you pay top dollar for maybe your 5A or your 7A quilted top, you're just not really going to get that 3D, that vivid, that enhanced, that pop that you're looking for by going with that type of wood. So again, it's going to come down to personal preference, but I have oftentimes seen people go with highly figured quilted and flamed tops. They go with a satin translucent finish, and they just find that the build, it looks a little flat, a little dark, a little dull, and it just doesn't give you that enhanced pop that you would otherwise get from a gloss finish. So again, there's no wrong answer. I just personally have found in my own experience that this is the case with satin finishes. Take a look at a video I did unboxing another Kiesel Osiris. It was a satin aqua burst flame maple. And this one was a beautiful guitar. However, you know, looking at it, because it was a satin finish, it just had a darker, more of a muted look to it, which not necessarily a bad thing, but that was my biggest regret on that build, was not going with gloss. So just something to bear in mind when working out these builds. Side note on satin finishes, guys, over time, with high contact areas from like the oils in your skin, just from touching the guitar, they will start to gloss up, which sometimes you end up with like these kind of glossy looking blobs on the satin, and it just doesn't always have the most appealing look to it. All right, next on the list, guys, black burst edges. Adding that dark outline to the body of the guitar can really help enhance the look, especially against one of these bright, vivid colors, maybe like your black cherry or aqua burst, your greens, anything like that. However, a lot of times I have found that the stock configuration for the black burst edges, it's a very thick black burst. So a lot of times what that can do is it can almost crowd the figuring of the top, and it just doesn't allow the wood to breathe as much. An alternative solution, if you're wanting that black outline on the guitar, you could call the guys, and you could request a thin black burst edge. That way you're gonna have a little bit more room. You're not gonna really mask too much of the top. So just a pro tip, when in doubt, call the guys. Which brings me to my last point, and that is probably the #1 most devastating, critical mistake you could ever make when ordering a Kiesel guitar, and that is not calling the guys when you go to place your order. You guys may know it is totally clear and upfront on the Kiesel website. Once your order is in, once that order is submitted, there is absolutely no way to go back and change anything. So by going through, calling the guys, you can go through step by step. Make sure that you ask all of your appropriate questions. You can go through all your possible options to get everything dialed into your specifications. The best way to do that is going to be to call the guys, because of course that's going to open up a wide array of off-menu options to ensure that you get exactly what you're looking for. When in doubt, make sure to call the sales guys. They can walk you through the process, answer those questions, get everything tailored to your individual needs. So that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for today's list, guys. Leave a comment in the comment section down below if you ever put through a build and you missed something, or you felt like you made a mistake, or something that you wouldn't order again, certain options that might conflict each other. Share your thoughts and experiences down below. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for today's list, guys. I hope you all find this information helpful. Just speaking my mind from years and years of experience buying, selling guitars, talking to people amongst the community of enthusiasts. So I hope you guys gain some experience and this helps you make the right choice for your build. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe for more. See you guys in the next one. Have a great day.